It's called street cinema. That's just a fancy way of saying the movie of everyday life. So street is kind of like everyday, cosmopolitan. The things that happen in everyday life that could be transmuted onto film. The lyrics do tell stories, and there are some cautionary tales. Some songs are very danceable, some songs are very like the subwoofers of your car are gonna vibrate. So that was fun for me. I also expect to have some acoustics on there, which is going back to what I always do, just me, my guitar, and my voice. But I always like to say expect the unexpected. Just expect something that makes you think and dance. So there are going to be 7 songs, lucky number 7. The first song, Baby Better Run, which came out February, and the video has been released. That's just about this made-up character I created for the song once I heard the instrumental. Just about a girl who doesn't get someone back, but that self-assuredness of when someone has done you wrong, you're kind of like, well, I'm going to get you, blah, 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 blah. Honey, you got eyes all over the place. The second single is going to be Na Na Na. That's one of those songs where when you hear it, you're like, this is kind of poppy and kind of fun, but if you listen to the lyrics, it's really about those things that we conceal about ourselves and we ignore about ourselves that cause the most havoc in our lives. So one of the verses is about a guy who drinks too much and kind of ignores it. He ignores his noise, which is a lyric from the song. And he just keeps living his life. There's a girl in that song who relies on the attention of men, or just the intention of her body to kind of feel good, and just about how I've seen that play out in life, how people have these character defects, but instead of looking at them, they're like, nah. So that's what that song's about. There's a song there called Skin Eaters, which features an instrumental by Rat-a-tat, so that answers the question of why I can't sell the EP. But it was a fun experience because my producer Roger Nazareth opened me up to being experimental as far as instrumentals, and opened me up to the idea of samples. And so that song's just about people. I'm an introvert, but it's about people who just kind of talk to fill up space, and they're not really saying anything of import. One of the main examples is like a pundit on like Fox News or CNN, just talking, and you're not really saying anything, and the anger that comes along with that, like, oh, I bet you think you know everything because you just talk, and like the quality of how silence can be golden sometimes. Another song on there is called Las Vegas. It's about a guy who's alluring, like Las Vegas, flashing lights, like vacation time, like Las Vegas, you assume that it's fun and you're gonna have a good time, but when you leave Las Vegas, you realize, oh, I have no more money. So that song is just, I'm just personifying someone to be like Las Vegas, and that feeling of when you're in this whirlwind love and you come out of it and you're like, I didn't get anything out of that. Except for, but I had fun, but I didn't get anything out of it. I have another song, the 2 acoustic songs, one of them is called Become. That one's kind of like more, I don't want to say raunchy, but it's more carnal. It's about how you're friends with someone pretty much only at night, in that way, in that sense of the word. But it's basically about how you're not really friends with someone, but you're like, we have a really good physical chemistry, so let's just keep it at that, and I don't really want to talk to you after that. And then I have a song, Please Please, which is another acoustic, which is the most personal song on the album to me, and every time I sing it, I cry. It's just about wanting to change your ways and kind of, not that I want this album to be religious or religious people to like flock to it or atheists to flock away from it, but that song is about kind of calling upon a higher power to say, please, please, please help me change this about myself because it's not working out. So I have a song called Noisemakers. That one's about race in America. It's about this idea of how, especially you could feel it around the Trayvon Martin stuff, or when anything racial happens, about how the people who are vocal are always told to just stop it, move on, it's not a problem anymore, blah, 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 blah. Same thing for gay rights, like stop it, I don't understand why you have to do this. And so the idea of a noisemaker is like, no, we're the people who are going to be vocal, and we're going to say we're not going to stand for this anymore. So that song was written after, not after the verdict, but just in that steam of the George Zimmerman verdict of like just how some people really think that they're better than others based on their skin or the quality of their life that they have been afforded by the atrocities that their ancestors did. And so that song is kind of racial and like uplifting in that way. Like, we're gonna make noise, and if we're going to make a difference, we're gonna have to be the noisemakers here. But what I really wanted was for this to put me on the map. And so I had this kind of concept that it would create internet buzz somehow, or one person would see it and pass it along and pass it along and pass it along. So my goal for this was for it to be internet friendly and for it to be shared in that type of way. But also it's just a personal goal. Like, this is my first body of work. I've been a singer since I was like 10. I've been seriously wanting to go after this career since I was like 8. And so now finally at 23, I'm finally being able to put out something that's like, this is mine, it's a solid body of work. And so there's that for it too. I have a legion of fans who know me from the Logic video, or who know me just from doing coffee houses in high school or doing open mics at college. So I want each of those audiences to kind of find something that they like out of it. With the more tech-driven, like 808s-driven people, I want them to be able to like dance to it and like saying, this is something I want to bob my head to or jog to. And I want the more cerebral, indie, alternative people to be able to find comfort in the fact that the lyrics do tell a deeper story. But I also just want people to see what I can do, because they've only known me from very sporadic things that I've done, and I want them to know that, or I want them to see me as a burgeoning artist, I guess, as someone who is trying to find her sound and who is on her way. I think that I offer something different as far as what is on Top 40, but something that's not so different where you feel awkward listening to it. I also just think as an African American woman, I am hopefully breaking new ground as far as genre, voice type, and all that thing. So for people who haven't heard me yet, I think you should stick around because I think that I'm really good. Something like that. Hi, I'm Camille of Camille Michelle Gray. My debut EP, Street Cinema, is coming out March 13th, 2014. Nothing to say, yeah. Those talk on the most and got nothing to say. Those talk on the most. Think that's fire right, cause you're skin leader. Make mistake bites, you never wanna be, yeah. Oh, I got my gloves on tight, ain't nothing I can help.